All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be checking out Purple Yellow Pudding. That's right. We're going to be, like you see on the screen here in the title, ramping straight to Winland. This is an OP08 leader, so I do have to give a quick disclaimer there, a quick, warning, spoiler warning for the players who do not know much about OP08 yet. I know we just got OP07 in the West. I get it. But today we're going to be messing with a little bit of the OP08 meta. Okay, so one thing I have to say is, it's one thing to be able to get down a character on, a character that costs 10, right? It's one thing to be able to get him down on curve, going second, right on curve on turn 5, right? But it's a whole other thing entirely when you can slam down a 10 cost character on your on turn 4 and you're going first, right? So in other words, your opponent just had their 6th dawn turn, and now it's your turn, and you plop down a 10 cost character like Tinlin. And I know it's going through a lot of people's minds right now, like, oh, that's totally degenerate, or oh, that's very unethical. Maybe. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, this will be somewhat of a lighthearted video because of the pure nature of this leader and how this deck runs. But it will act as like a deep dive, comprehensive deck builder's guide for Purple Yellow Pudding. All right, and as busted as this leader might sound, like on paper, this sounds so crazy, right, when you hear about it. But it's not really doing much in the East. Just to give a quick spoiler, it's not really popping off in the East, but I think it's probably like a very low A-tier deck, maybe even a high B-tier deck, where it can kind of sneak wins locally, but it's not really doing anything on the big stage, so to speak. Okay, so with that in mind, let's go ahead. Let me give you guys a quick layout of how this video is going to go. We got a lot to go over. First off, we're going to check out one of the another community submitted video. That one's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be Hody Jones versus Enel. Then we will hop over to OnePieceTopDecks.com and talk a little bit about the direction that Purple Yellow Pudding is trending over in the OP08 meta. Then we will hop over to the sim, have a little bit of fun there, and I think you'll see what I'm talking about. When I said it was going to be a lighthearted video, those are some fun games we're going to go over on the sim. And then we will go over the deck list that I'm running, talk about why I'm running what I am running, and then we'll finish off with an art critique. Okay, so you know what you're getting into, guys. Let's hop straight into this. We got a lot to go over. We got a lot of fun. I think we're going to have a lot of fun in today's video. I can't even talk right now. Sorry, guys. Okay, first up, let me go ahead and get us started on the featured community spotlight video. We got to find a good name for this, guys. I don't like calling it the community spotlight video or whatever I just said. We have to get a good name for this new feature on the channel where we go over people's submitted videos. And here we go, guys. The volume is already off. The speed is on 2x. The quality's high, and let's go. Here we go. All right, so Hody Jones versus Enel. Okay, and Hody's going to go first and get the Kami search. But they're going to whiff on the search. Okay, less than ideal. Let me see what was in that search real quick. I want to pause it because, guys, the people that submit these videos, I do not know what's in their deck. If you want their deck list, just hop on the Discord and ask whoever, ask for like, hey, on the video today, can I get that deck list, or like explain whatever it is if you're seeing a previous video from the past. But so check this out. We have a Yamato, an Izo, a Mihawk, and a zero-cost Don Quixote Pirates event in a deck that is built for Hody Jones. I'm not a huge fan of that idea. That's kind of, people would consider that spreading your deck too thin, where it's like, how consistent will your deck be if there are not enough targets to hit on your Kami searches? Especially these cards right here, they kind of seem all over the place. But that's something. It's easier to talk about that if you have the whole entire deck list in front of you, which I do not have. But when we talk about deck consistency and things like that, it's about having like a very strong common theme in the deck, and that way the searchers all like never whiffing. And when I say never, I mean like 90% of the time the searcher's going to hit something. It's okay if it misses every now and then, and maybe that was the case here. I don't know, but just judging by what I see in the hand, we got Rosinante, we got the Don Quixote stuff. You got to be real careful when you're creating your deck. It's always good to be very creative and try some new stuff. But make sure you're still trying to maintain a certain level of consistency as well. Okay, so the Kami search unfortunately whiffs, but that's not the end of the world. Okay, and now let's see what the Enel player gets here. They're going to go turn 1, just pass. Very standard play for Enel. Now we're on turn 2 for the Hody Jones. Swing for 5, plays out the Dosen. I like that play. There were 2 options he had. There were 3 options, right? Number 1, you get a swung for 8 at Enel. That's overkill. There's no real reason to do that. Okay, the other option would have been to load up 5 for the Kami, or load up 3 on the Kami to swing for 5 twice. And then the third option, what I would consider the best option, you know, to go back to our accuracy, our chess accuracy, our terms, I would consider that option done there as the best play. Okay, good stuff. Let me get that out of the way. All right, playing out the Dosen, developing your board. Now let's see what the Enel player does. It is their 4 Dawn turn, which is very awkward. If they have a Gadatsu, they can't play it out. Now, one thing I will say, speaking of that, playing around Gadatsu seems like a very important thing to do. And in this specific situation here, he's knocked you down to 4 life. He kind of did you a favor there, to be completely honest. And what I would consider doing this turn is using your Dosen to lose a life to go down to 3 life, and then using your Ikaros Much to play out the other Dosen to go down to 2 life. And develop a full board. Your Dosen cannot be KO'd in battle, and now they can't KO anything except the Kami with the Gadatsu. That's one option, but let's see what happens here. I'm not sure. Okay, it looks like they're just going to do everything I said, but not swing with the leader. Swing for 6. He doesn't lose a life from that effect, and then play out the Ikaros as well, and playing out the Dosen. So everything I said, but choosing not to lose the life. All right, that's probably a good play as well, but I think it would have been slightly more aggressive, and that's the way that I like to play Hody Jones, to just go straight down to 2 life this turn with those 2 effects from Dosen and the Ikaros, to make it where he can no longer Gadatsu your strong characters. Okay, let's see if the Enel actually has Gadatsu. They have 10 cards in hand, and they're on a 6 Dawn turn. Let's see what they do here. Okay, we're just waiting on them. And okay, plays out the Gadatsu, pops the Dosen, and that's that. Swing 6 into 5. They go ahead and take that, which I do agree with. Okay, and pause. So guys, one thing I have to ask, please do not submit videos where you have cards like this in your deck. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? All the way down here, this Zoro card. If I had to guess, that's probably like, what, the 9-cost Zoro? I guess it could be the 4-cost 6K Zoro, but that's the whole point. There are multiple cards that it could be, and I have absolutely no idea what it is. I don't have the deck list in front of me. One thing I ask, guys, I'm not mad, by the way. Don't worry, guys. I'm not like upset or something. But for future reference, hey, we're trying to work out the kinks with this new feature on the for the channel, right? Please do not submit me games with custom art like that. I'm okay. I've seen some people play with the alt arts. I'm fine with alt arts because I know what those are. But custom art like this, please do not submit that in the future. Just giving you a heads up. Again, I'm not upset or anything like that. Just giving a quick heads up. All right, here we go. Back to the game. So now we have a turn here. We've lost one of our Dosens from the Gadatsu. Gonna swing for 5. 7 Dawn is still available. I'm pretty sure that that's probably a 9-cost Zoro, because I don't know why he'd run the 4-cost Zoro in this deck list. But we'll find out, hopefully. Okay, so right here, swings for 5, okay, the Enel player takes that. They're obviously baiting you into attacking here, which I would oblige. Like, absolutely start swinging. Let's see what happens here. Swing for 9. You are going to lose the life here from the effect. Let's see if they got any trigger or not. Of course, they get a beige. Must be nice. Now they're swinging for 6 with Kami. That would have been a really nice turn there to go 6 and 6. So that way they would have gone down. But I would have probably done it a little bit. I don't think I would have swung for 9 with the Dosen. Just to give a heads up, I would have probably just gone 7s across the board. Which, in that situation there, if they still would have taken it, guess what? If they take the hit there, now you still have more Dawn to work with. You would actually, in this case, you'd have had 6 Dawn to work with, and maybe, well, I guess it probably wouldn't have changed much, to be honest, considering what's in your hand. But it would have been another option, another possibility. Okay, let's see what the Enel player does here. It's their turn. Yeah, that beige feels bad there. Swinging for 7 at face. Okay, nice 0-cost 3K to get out of that. Swinging 7 more at face. That feels awful, but let's see. 2K to get out of it. That's fine. Gadatsu popping the Kami. We don't really care about that card anyway. That's fine. Okay, and it looks like we're on a 9 Dawn turn for the Hody Jones. Let's see what happens. They'll probably try to develop. Yeah, I think they're going to try to develop the Zoro this turn. One thing I have to say, though, is this going to cost a life now if you swing with Dosen? Let's see what happens. So swinging for 5, 1K counter out of that. Swing for 6 into 6. So there's one thing that I would have liked to have seen differently. Okay. One thing I would have tried that was fine the way that whole entire encounter happened. It was 2 1Ks out of the opponent's hand. But another line of play you could have considered there is tapping down your leader to make it where the Dosen could swing for 6 and become battle immune and just go 2 6K attacks into the Gadatsu. Not a big deal. Like I said, it ended up being the same result, and now your character, it's still active. But, that character wouldn't have been KO'd in battle anyway because of the effect. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Another line of play would have been to just try to get the Gadatsu off the board. That would have been another line of play. And so, oh, by the way, and that was a 9-cost Zoro because they used all their Dawn. So we were right about that. That is the 9-cost Zoro, that custom art card. Okay, so they swung for 5. Use a 1K counter there is absolutely correct. Swing for 7. Take it. Uh-oh. Okay, so we only got a 2K and a 1K. Or we only have a 2K in hand. Excuse me. We only have a 2K in hand. But it looks like they only have 2 attacks here. Okay. Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Worst case scenario, plays out an L, swings for 8. We only have that much in hand, and that's going to be game there. Okay. Oops. Okay, that was fast. And then they have another game for in the future. Boom, swing for 7. Like I said, they played out an L, swing for 8. They had exact lethal to beat you there. That happens. That happens from time to time. But other than that, Enel is a very hard deck to beat. The one play that I think would have been interesting and what I would have probably done differently here is I would have actually the turn... It would have been really interesting to see how the game played out if you had done this right here. This turn right here, instead of tapping your leader down, actually swing for 5 to present extra, aggression to your opponent. Oh, let me hit play. And then swing for 6 with Dosen to go down to 3 life. Then play out the Ikaros Much with the other Dosen to go down to 2 life. And now his Gadatsu can't hit your big boys. You know what I mean? And then your following turn, think about it, they'd be at like 1 life, right? Because this guy was just taking everything you swung at him with until he was at 1 life. So he'd be at 1 life, and now your following turn is going to be just 7s across the board, and it's going to demolish his hand. It's just going to absolutely demolish his hand. We would have got that beige out of the way early, and we'd have had 1 extra attack in from it. So that's the one thing I would have definitely done very differently. Okay, good stuff though. I think you played that pretty well. Let me go back towards the end of this game. One more thing I want to mention, guys. Again, I know I already mentioned it, but please, if you're going to submit these videos, do not submit custom art stuff like this Zoro down here. Not a big deal. I'm just asking politely. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and go like this. Move my camera back to where it normally would go. Let me hop off this screen, and we will hop over to the... Let me get the... Got to take this off. Sorry, guys. Don't worry. I'll get better at using this feature soon, guys, the way we have this built. So now we got to look at the meta for OP07, and that is where we are. Let me F5 to refresh. Go full screen here. And we are in the Japan OP08 2 Legends deck meta. Now, we're going to sort by, what's-her-name, Pudding. I can't remember if I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but I have already covered Pudding in the past, and I will put that video in the comment section below if you want to see my initial thoughts, my original thoughts on Pudding. We're only going to look at these 2 most recent Pudding decks, and I think they're going to be very similar, because I think they're starting to figure out how this deck is supposed to work. So first up, let's talk about the leader, and then we'll blast through this. So the leader is a 5,000 power, 4-life leader, purple-yellow type, or purple-yellow colors with Big Mom Pirates type. It has a when attacking, you may turn the top 2 life cards of your top 2 life cards face up, and then add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as rested. So it has built-in ramp, as long as you can turn 2 cards from the top of your life face up. Then we have, I'm going to walk through the rest of this and we'll talk about it. It's running 4 Puddings, 4 Lin, 4 Beige, 2 Yamato, 2 Edward Newgate, 4 Viola, 4 Flampe, 4 Ace. That's interesting. The last time I checked, people were not running Ace yet, but maybe they were and I just don't remember, but that's very interesting. 4 Bon Clay, Bon Clay Bentham, 3 Sanji, 4 of the Katakuri. This is a big star in the deck we'll talk about in a minute. 4 of 9 Lin, 3 of the You're the One Who Should Disappear event, and 4 of the other Searcher. This is kind of like the event version of Flampe in this list, but it can also grab Animal Kingdom Pirates cards. So, yeah, really good stuff here. This list, the idea is everything is about dropping this character. This is the star of the show in this deck. You want to ramp this character as fast as possible. Another thing you want to do is you want to go first with this deck. You can still go second, but going first is like the way to do the perfect curve. And let me explain the perfect curve with this deck real quick. Turn 1, play out Pudding. If you get it, that's fine. Turn 2, you're on 3 Dawn. Right? You're on 3 Dawn, and then you're going to swing with your leader to go to 4 Dawn. Okay? Who cares if they take it or not? If you have a Pudding down, load up on her and swing for 5 more, right? Otherwise, just swing all in with your leader. Okay, so you're on 4 Dawn. At the end of your turn 2 going first. You would normally be on 3, but you're on 4. Now, you untap for turn 3, you're on 6 Dawn. Now, for your opponent's turn, it is very important that you take that hit and go down to like 3 life, right? Because 2 of your cards will be face up in your life, then you'll only have 1 card face up in your life. Now, for your turn 3, you'll be on 6 Dawn, right? That's when you play out Katakuri, who has, you may flip the top card of your life face down and add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and set it as active. Now, you're going to go from 6 Dawn that turn to 7 and be able to use your leader's effect again to go to 8. And then the following turn, your turn 4, you're going to be on 10 Dawn. And on 10 Dawn, you'll be able to drop down Ace. You'll be able to drop down Linlin. You'll obviously be able to drop down the 9-cost characters. That works as well. But that is the whole entire game plan of this entire deck. That's what the entire deck is. It seems a little gimmicky. It's kind of like a one-trick pony kind of deal. But hey, it does it very well. Especially, like I said, if you get this card right here. There are other options to still be able to do it, like this card, Bon Clay Bentham. But the idea is you have to ramp 2 more times after your initial attack with your leader. You see what I'm saying? So that's what makes it kind of hard. Excuse me, but at the same time, it's very doable. It's still very doable, especially if you decide to take life the correct way and things like that. You can make it happen. If you use Charlotte Flampy correctly and things like that, you can definitely make it happen. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory, right? This is a 2K counter Beige, 2K counter Flampe, 2K counter Sanji. This one, I don't know about this. I don't know why this is in the list, to be honest. I guess it is searchable by Pudding, because remember, guys, Pudding does a top 4 search for Big Mom Pirates type cards other than Charlotte Pudding, or up to 1 Sanji named card. Notice it's in brackets. That looks like parentheses. I can't really make the brackets, but it's in a bracket. This thing right here, so you can search up any card named Sanji with this searcher. So that is a searchable 2K counter. It does double over as a blocker if you absolutely need it. Okay, good stuff there. But then everything else is very self-explanatory. I'll talk about the 9-cost and 10-cost stuff as well. This is an OP08 card, 9-cost, 9,000 power, Linlin, so it's Big Mom Pirate searchable. On play, Dawn -1, trash a card from your hand, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life, then place up to 1 of your opponent's characters with the cost of 6 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life face up. So this allows you to remove 1 of their characters, you go up a life, you establish a 9K body. I really like this card, and I think it's very strong. But if you don't get like just the straight to turn 4 Linlin, it just doesn't feel as good. The deck like loses so much power if you're not going first and get off the combo we were talking about earlier. It just doesn't feel as good. Not to say you can't still win. I'm just saying it just feels so much worse. Yamato, we know what this does. Ace, we know what this does. But this is just another great 10-cost card to jump to. Especially if you're going to get something that's a little more aggressive, then maybe you can, just get this out, and have two life cards left. Don't choose not to gain a life and just start smashing into the board if you need to. It's an option. But good stuff. Everything else is pretty straightforward, guys. We're going to go to the next list. I mean, that is a very straightforward list, and here's the next one. We'll go over this one, and then we'll move to the version that I'm running. This list is the exact same for the most part, but notice they are running Frankie instead of... let me see. It was Flampe instead of Beige. They're actually running Frankie instead of Beige, and I really, really like that. I think this is a better direction to go, and I even like Satori, by the way. You'll see that we'll talk about that more when we get to my list. I like the idea of Satori because you can just cheat another body into play. Like, seems good to me. Just keep the pressure going. Because once you start slamming down Linlins, this becomes almost like an aggro blitz deck. Like you're going turn 4 12K character that pops your life and gives you a life. So if you can keep ripping bodies out of life and trashing your other cards that are no longer where's like this card. Like if I get down 10 Lin and this card's just going to slow me down. I'd rather get cards from life than I could trash this from their their effects and stuff like that. Maybe even Kikinojo could be a possibility in the future. Sheep's Horn is pretty good too. This is just a 2-cost main, Dawn -1. Rest 1 of your opponent's cost 6 or less characters. Just a really nice utility card. It is Animal Kingdom Pirates searchable, so you can search it up with this event searcher. Everything else we already looked at. The Viola is interesting as a tech card because you can flip all your life cards face down again and then use your leader's effect again. That's the whole idea there. Okay, and that's it, guys. I forgot to explain Newgate. This is like a Katakuri Light. Basically, it's really more like Viola. But check this out, guys. On play, add the top card of your deck to your life cards. Then look at all of your life cards and place one of the cards on the top of your deck. Return your remaining life cards in any order. But here's the thing with your leader effect. They will stay face up. However, you can just move those cards to the bottom that are face up and use the, use your leader attack to ramp a Dawn in that way. It's an option, but it's not as good. The absolute best option is to take your first hit from the opposing, your opponent, and then drop down this Katakuri on them, and then turn the one card that's still face up back face down, attack him with your leader again, and you're off to the races. Okay, that's it, guys. We're just diving straight into this. There's not a whole lot that has happened. Like I said, if you look at this, is all the way from May 22nd to July 6th, and I'm recording this video on July 11th, right? So this is almost after 2 full months of testing, and it's not really popping off. It's not really going crazy. It just looks like it's a pretty solid deck for locals, flagships, store battles, shop battles, whatever, shop CS stuff like that. Okay, now let's go to the games on the sim. Let's have a little bit of fun here, guys. Go to the sim here. There it is. I've got 5 games lined up for us here on the sim. Okay, let me make sure this is right. Make sure we're on volume is off. We're on 2x speed. Okay, we're good to go. First game here, guys, is against Boa Hancock. Mono blue deck. This is OP08, of course, because the leader's OP08. Hopefully that thing goes away at the bottom of the screen. Okay, thank you. So they start off, I got to go first, which is ideal, and I had the exact curve to just go crazy this game. The only thing that would have made this better is if I would have gotten a pudding to start the game off. So I went first, and that was my 3-Dawn turn, attacked with my leader to go up to 4 Dawn and reveal my top 2 cards. Now watch this, guys. If they attack into me, I'm going to take that 100% of the time, and then they're going to play out their board. I don't even care. Now, I'm going to ramp up to 6 Dawn this turn because of what just happened. I go from 3 Dawn to 6 Dawn, right? Now, use out the Katakuri to turn my face-up life card face down and ramp another Dawn active, and then use my leader effect again, and I'm going to go from 6 Dawn this turn to 8, and then untap next turn with 10 Dawn. This is absolutely disgusting, and there is a way to play around it. You have to not attack. Like, if you're the opponent, do not attack when I have 2 cards face up like that. Okay, they're going to swing 7 into 5. No problem. We actually take that as well. We did the top 5 search with that event. And now we're going to swing 5. Not use the leader effect. We can't anyway. Swing 7. They give us a card from life. And now it's time to just chain Linlins together. Notice they're on 8 Dawn. We just dropped a 10 Dawn character on them when they had 6 Dawn. They're now on 8 Dawn. Let's see what they do. They play out the Boa to shut down my attack for the turn. Swing 7 into face. I am going to counter out of this a little bit because they're starting to get a lot of bodies on the board. Like, I needed 1 turn like that to catch back up. Now watch this, guys. Swing 5, swing 7. That Katakuri is still putting in work, guys. And drop another Linlin. Well, your turn. Yeah, they just leave. Because what are you supposed to do here? They don't have a red rock in hand. And I have 2 12-12s on the board. I still have 4 life. I have a full grip of cards. This is just a nightmare situation, right? And that is the potential that this deck has. Now, like I said, my opponent could have played around it by not attacking into me on on their second turn. They should not have attacked into me, and then I can't do what I just did. I can ramp to a 9 cost, but that is obviously not even nearly as good as the 10 cost Linlin. Okay, next game. These games are going to be pretty short today, guys. Just warning you, because when you go turn 4 Linlin, that's kind of how it goes. Okay, let me go to 2x speed. And here we go. This time I even got the turn 1 pudding. Now it's my opponent's turn. I even got to go first and everything. Right here, I'm going to swing for 5, use the leader effect, of course. And in this situation, I'm going to swing for 5 with my pudding here. And I want my opponent to attack into my face. And he does. I'm like, thank you very much. Top 5 search again. That's nice when that lines up. This has been like the absolute perfect start to the game. However, I still don't have a 10 cost character yet, right? Oh, there it is. We drew it for the turn. I'll say I remember this game. That's why I said that. And then, so play out the Katakuri to go up. I just went to 8 Dawn. In that turn, I went from 6 Dawn, went to 7 Dawn from the Katakuri effect, turning my life card face up, and then went to 8 Dawn by swinging on my leader and turning them back turning my face up once, face down, and the leader brought him face up again. Okay, sorry about that. I got a little mixed around. Okay, Swinging for 5 there, and now I'm going to have a 5 attack, 7 attack, like, for the rest of the time. Unless they can remove it. I think this guy might remove my Katakuri with Sanji, if I remember correctly. Yep, I see what's happening right here. He's going to swing for 5 with this character here. Sanji pops a 5 or less if you have a 6 or higher character on the board. They have the stage down, so Sanji will count as a 6 or larger character. Pops my Katakuri. Not the worst case scenario, but, you know, I swing 5 into the Brook and dump down a Tinlin. They just untapped for their 8 Dawn turn, and they went second, guys. And I already have a 10 cost character in play. That is the true strength of the deck. I know I just mentioned that, but that is really what makes this deck strong. They swing 5 and 5. I need to get out of these little attacks so that I can actually start, you know, surviving. Of course, I get a beige off top. That would have been nice. But okay, right here, I'm not in any rush to win this game, but I'm going to swing 5 into the Brook. And I think I just go face here, and I say, actually, you're just going to lose the game next turn. So 12 into face, play out the 10 Lin to get another card from their life. They're at 1 life. I have 3 bodies, right? Well, I have my leader and 2 bodies. He hits me with an E-Show. I don't care about that. You needed a blocker this turn, right? Because you have 5 cards in your hand. Okay, so let's see what happens here. And the game's over, right? They can, as long as I survive this attack right here, which you see what's in my hand. I was baiting him to swing in with everything. And they get out of it, and then they just leave. Because it's over, right? They needed to play something like that Borsalino in their trash. I don't know how that card got in their trash, but they needed to play something like that in order to survive this turn. Nothing else could have done it. And even that might not have been able to do it, because I could have just gone, what, 13, 13, 13. You know what I mean? How do you get out of that? That's just absolutely brutal. All right, we're already done with 2 games, guys. All right, game number 3 here against Vegapunk. Let me go speed 2x. Okay. Vegapunk does not do well against anything that is yellow that has access to Tinlin, because it just eats their life for free and they don't get the trigger. So any type of banish effect or any type of effect like 10 cost Linlin is not going to feel good for them. Okay, so right here, I am going second in this game. I'm not going first. So that does change the math a little bit. I'm going to swing for 5 to turn on my leader effect there. They go ahead and take that to play out their Lilith. Seems good. And right here, I do a top 5 search. I need my Tinlins. And in this list, guys, I'm running Sparrow. I'm running Pudding. I'm running that event. I basically have 12 searchers to look for my Linlin. Because, guys, that's my game plan. I'm all in on it. I'm all in on the Linlins. Okay, even the 9-cost Linlin is still very strong. Okay, so right here, they swing in there. I end up countering out of that one. I don't want to dip too low at this point of the game. But right here, we do have another route of play. I play out the... So now I'm at 8 Dawn. I don't need to use my leader effect anymore. I just need to get to 10 Dawn next turn, and I'm fine. So it still ends up being turn... Let me see. They're on their 3, 6... They're on their 7 Dawn turn, and we're about to be on what would be our 8 Dawn turn, but we're going to go to 10. So my opponent's on 7 Dawn, but we're about to be on 10. So everything still worked out just fine there. Okay, so they swing for 9 at face. Less than ideal, right? Less than ideal, but I do counter out of this aggressively because I want to keep my life a little high here. They swing for 9 again. I have to take that one. But now I can start attacking the board. Right now I can start attacking the board here. Swing 7 into 6. Let's see if they give me anything, a 2K counter or something. They do. I go ahead and use the Linlin. I thought about swinging there, but that's not that. I shouldn't swing in that situation. And remember, guys, Vegapunk, the leader, cannot attack. So they hit me with a Raigo there, literally ditching their top life card to get that out of the way. And they can only swing twice. They can only swing twice this turn. They swing 9 into 7 there. That was not what I would consider the right play. Now, they are going to sit behind their blocker, but that play right there just shifted the entire game. Now, I pretty much can just drop this Tinlin, you know, with no problems and just go from there. So right here, I swing 7 into 6. Go ahead and give me a 2K counter if you have it, or the blocker. Okay, and right here, drop out Tinlin, and then I should have, so real quick, what I probably should have done there is played out the 10, okay, hear me out. I should have dropped Tinlin to make them lose their last life, swing 5 at life, then they'll probably use their Shaka, and then I can go 7 at life. You know, they'd have had to do that the exact right way, or I could have caught them slipping. Okay, so right here, it's my opponent's turn. I'm back up to 3 life. I have a 10 cost 12K body on the board. What are they going to do? Do they have another Raigo? Because they're going to need it. They attack into me, and I get a Sparrow. Now the game's over for sure. It was already probably over. They're going to play out that card. Then they didn't even do it in the right order. Okay, so what they should have done there was gain a life first, and then do Yamato to pop my Perospero. You see what I'm saying? And that would have... I mean, I would have got to draw from that if that's what they were trying to avoid. I guess they could still pop it with the Luffy, though. Let's see if they choose to do that or not. Whatever the case is, they should do it. I'm just going to be honest. Okay, I don't understand. No, absolutely not, guys. I'm sorry. All right, where's the chess accuracy meter? Hang on. Where is the chess accuracy meter? There it is. Okay, guys, that was a blunder. Okay, because in that situation there, we're gonna go backwards a little bit and talk about it. Play. Let me click right here. Number one. I'm so confused. I'm so confused because number one, they could have just added a life, like add that Nami to life, right? And then pop the Perospero that way so they could save their Luffy. But okay, whatever. Say they didn't want to do that for whatever reason. Then they play out the Nami instead of putting it into life when they could have just popped this character with the Luffy. I don't know. I guess they were able to cycle a card like that and maintain the body. Maybe that part was fine, but I would definitely consider that along the line. Let me move this now. I would definitely consider that along the lines of a misplay, though. That's just me personally. Maybe they just wanted to draw a card really badly. Whoops, sorry, guys. And then I top deck another 10 Lin. It's over now. We're going to swing for 7. They have a 2K, 1K, and swing for 5. GG. They have no cards left in hand to counter it. No blockers. That was a fun one. All right, we got 2 more games, guys. Next up, we have against Katakuri. As far as what I think about this leader, I will say that, guys, I do think this leader is very strong. I do think this leader is very strong, but I don't think it's as strong as, like, obviously Red Purple Law. Lucci, I think, can just keep up because it plays enough blockers to just sustain, to just survive. But at the same time, you know, I don't know. Maybe if this list gets fully figured out, it gets fully refined and fine-tuned. Sorry, guys, I forgot to put on 2x speed. Then maybe it will have a chance, like, to make it into the top tables at some point. And I will share my list at the end, guys. I think I'm onto something. Okay, so right here I get another 10 Lin. Feeling real good about that, guys. I'm feeling real good about that 10 Lin here. They swing for 7. I go ahead and counter out of this because I need to use the Katakuri to ramp a Dawn. I'm going to swing 5 into face. And I'm at 7. So right here I need to... not sure what I did there. Perospero, swing 6, use leader effects, and now next turn I'm going to be on 10 Dawn. And my opponent is just now on 6. You see what I'm saying, guys? Y'all see how powerful this is, like the potential there? Where it's like, okay, they just had their 6th Dawn turn. Okay, they popped my character. I got another Perospero from the Perospero. And now I'm going to go to 10 Dawn. So, swing 5. I should get out of this one if I can. There's no reason to dip too low. Okay, I'll go down to 2 life here. That's fine. Because I counted out very aggressively earlier so I can make this entire play. Now, in this situation, I'm just going to eat up their hand by attacking into that Perospero. By all means, give me cards from hand. That's fine. Swing 7 into it. Give me more cards from hand. I think he does, by the way. Because he's starting to think that he's like smelling blood in the water or something. It's like, bro, 10 Lin seemed good when I hit their 10 Lin from life. I've done that before. Back when I was playing a lot of Black Yellow Lin, you'd be surprised how often that happens where you hit a 10 Lin with your 10 Lin from their life. Okay, swings 9 into 7. I'm not going to let you have it that easy. If he wants to swing into it again, that's fine, but I'm not going to let him have it that easy. Swing 7, you got it, fine, whatever. Swing 7 into me, I'll take it. I'll see what I get. I can't counter out of it. Okay, you're the one who should disappear. That's not going to help me right there. But that is, though. Okay, so now we'll swing. So I go, so right here I go for face. I say, okay, play out the 10 Lin to take you down to 1. And now I'm presenting lethal next turn. Let's see what they do. All right, swing for 5. That's fine, and I get a top 5 search. I just grabbed a counter from hand. That was all I needed to get out of that attack there. And now, here we go. Draw for the turn. Swing 12. This is going to go through because he only has 3 life. Did he get a trigger? All we're trying to see right now is if he got a beige. Didn't get a beige. Look at what his last life was. So that was just playing Russian roulette right there, guys. I decided that I was going to hit the Lin on the final life, and it was a brulee. That was kind of just, I don't know, I guess, did he put it there? I'm not sure, guys. I couldn't see on the left, you know, while we're watching like this. I record, you know, with it all covered up, all the text over there. But I don't know if they put that on the bottom or not. They probably did, because they swung with their leader like 2 or 3 times, I think, you know, with the actual effect on, and they probably set that down there. So that's why you should wait for the last life to use your leader's effect. But otherwise, if I didn't win right there, I was probably gone, guys. I've got a Flampe and a, well, I don't know. I had a 2K and a 2K coming out of life. I had a 2K and a 3K in hand, so maybe I could have gotten out of it, but probably not. Realistically, probably not. Okay, One more game. Here we go. This last game here is against Reiju. This leader's very strong, especially when it's not playing against Red Purple Law. That's like its one obvious known weakness. But hey, other than Red Purple Law, this is a very, very strong deck. Turn 1, they just slam out Niji, so they're just going to start getting super aggressive. Hey, I'm not too upset with that. I do my searcher there. I had to go second this game, which is not ideal, but it's not like unwinnable or anything like that. Going first is just better, guys. It's just better for what we're doing. So right there, he swings 8. Now he's going to swing 6. I do need to keep this card active so I can ramp a Dawn with my Katakuri. Okay, and now I'm at 8 Dawn, so I'll be on 10 Dawn next turn. So this turn, I'm just going to swing 6 into Niji, 6 into Niji. That was perfect. I ate up his board, slowed him down. And guys, look at what card I'm going to drop next turn. I'll give you a hint. You know, it's the 10 cost card in my hand. So they swing for 5. I'm going to get out of that so I can comfortably drop this card. Okay, they swing face here. I'm like, all right, you're a madman, but I am going to punish you. Okay, so right here, I'll swing 7 into 7. He doesn't have the counter. This guy's playing like an absolute lunatic, guys, for real. They took those, play out Tenlin. The game's over. I mean, the game is pretty much over. I even have a 2K counter to get out of one of their attacks this turn. Let's see what they do here. Now they're searching like crazy for what they need with these German Kingdom events, or stages, rather. But like I said, this guy was playing like an absolute madman, not going for my board. Plays out Niji, sure, bounce my guy back, I don't care. Swing 9 or 8 into 7, 2K counter out. This game is over. Swing 5 into 5, 7 into 5. He takes that. Now with Linlin's effect, Dawn minus 10, pop your entire board, make you lose a life, and now you have to block out of a 12K attack. Okay, boom, and I gain a life, and now 12 into 5. They only had 3K counter in hand. So there you go. Really good stuff there. This deck is so much fun, guys. And I know some people, this makes some people sick. I get it. I get it, guys. I'm not saying it's the most ethical deck out there. Okay, I never said that. Never said it was the most ethical deck on the planet. And I know some people think it's a little bit degenerate to play like this. Very one-dimensional, but it's still fun. It's still fun to do, especially like for this kind of setting for content creation. And you guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. Is this deck going to maybe work its way into S tier? What about in August? You know, August 12th, I believe they're going to be doing the update on the bans and restriction list. Let's just talk hypothetically for a second. If they ban Red Purple Law, will that give a deck like this the opportunity to hop into the meta? I don't know. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. But anyway, back to the deck list here, guys. This was the first list I was running for the first 3 games. I have another list that I fine-tuned it to in the final 2 games that I played. Everything is pretty straightforward, like what we saw. I am running the beiges, even though I really like the Frankie, and I like the Satori the best, because I just need a body. Like, I just want to have a guaranteed body. I like the Parasparrow, because look at this, guys. I have a top 3 searcher on KO with Parasparrow, a top 4 searcher with Pudding, and a top 5 searcher with this event. I've got searches on searches on searches in this deck, and it's going to get the cards that I need. These are the 2 primary cards that I need. If I go first, okay, if I go first, then if I have this card and this card in hand, I will have a turn 4, 10 cost Linlin on the board. That's if I went first, by the way, guys. Like that's how crazy that is. Now, real quick, I am running a lot of 2K counters. Understand that. So notice I'm running 4 Sanji, 4 Flampe, 4 Beige, and 4 of the Amande. I was originally running Newgate, but I've already gotten off that, and we're going to hop over to my other list pretty much right away here after y'all kind of like screenshot this if you want to mess with it. But I'm just telling you right now, I did revise this, and I think it's even better now. Let me go to that list, this one. Okay, this list I think is just better. And again, I actually want to take, like, after thinking about it, guys, I want to run Satori here. I thought I changed it. That's really weird that it's not changed. I really want to change this to Satori. Or even just the 6 cost blocker Sanji, because they're both searchable by Pudding. That's another option. But as is, I was running Beige. I think Beige is okay, but I think, okay, for the way that this deck functions, the way that you, for anyone who's played it, you know, it is basically the most aggressive tempo deck you can run, because you're going turn 4 this card right here. Then I also added these to have one more target in case I didn't see this exactly on turn 4. Even with all these searches, guys, 4 Puddings, 4 of this card, and 4 of, you know, well, potentially the pair of Sparrows if they get KO'd. even with all that stuff, guys, sometimes you just don't see this card on turn 4, and it feels awful. Or vice versa, you'll have this card, but then you don't see the Katakuri. And with that in mind, I do think some revisions that can happen is I can go down some 2K counters and add in the Violas. So, all right, let me do some quick messing around real quick and tell y'all how I think this deck should change very soon here. Let me get rid of Amande. I've already updated the list here, so we don't have to wait a while for it to search up or to load in. Viola. That's the first thing I want to do is add Viola to the list. Number 1, it's just a nice blocker. And number 2, it's actually very good in the sense that, like, you know, okay, it allows you to flip your cards face up. Your life cards face down. The ones that are face up, it flips them face down. And now you can get more benefits from your pudding here. The Bon Clay or Bon Curé Bentham, this card is actually very good too for when you don't see your Katakuri. The other option, I guess, is to go back to Newgate, but I was just not having a lot of success with Newgate, and I'm always aggressively mulliganing for this card. This is the card I want in my mulligan. As long as I have this where I can play it on curve going first, I'm fine. I'm completely fine. And if I didn't get this card, but I still got a pudding, then I'll probably take my chances with that as well to do a top 4 search for Katakuri, or if I even got the event, I'll do a top 5 search for Katakuri. Because, you know, this is a like a 1-of-1 card in the deck that is extremely important for the strategy of what we're trying to do here. Whereas, like, if I get a 10 Lin, a 9 Lin, or the other 10 Lin Kaido, like, I'm fine with any of these 10 cards. But these 4 cards right here, that is my mulligan. Like, that is what I'm going for with my mulligan. You know, and the good news is, as long as you have the Katakuri in hand, you have all of this searcher power with the 1-cost event, the 1-cost pudding, and even potentially Paraspera getting KO'd. You have all this searcher power to get to your Lin or your Katakuri. But the thing about Katakuri is you have to play that on turn 3, or else the little combo doesn't quite work the way we wanted it to. Another option you could do is, like, say your opponent took you down to 3 life. Like, say they hit you after you ramped it on with your leader. Another option is you could eat that life with Flampe. Or, excuse me, play out Bon Curé first. Obviously, play out Bon Curé first so that you can go up to 5 Dawn. And then, wait. Well, I guess it depends if you went first or second. It depends. If you went second, let's say if you went second, you play out Bon Curé to go to 5 Dawn, use the Flampe to eat your top life, and then reveal your bottom 2 life with Charlotte Pudding. That's another option you can do. That's just one more option you can do for going second. Going first, though, you want this Katakuri so bad, guys. Going first, this Katakuri means everything. Going second, I think the Bon Curé is just as good, or it's like fine. You know, it works out just fine. But going first, man, Katakuri is just disgusting. So going second, Bon Curé. Going first, Katakuri. And then you're always going for the Lin. You're always trying to get Lin down. One more thing I think I'll add just right now is actually Satori. I think this is just more aggressive because what ends up happening is, like, okay, once you establish this card on turn 4, the 10 Lin, first of all, not many decks can deal with it. Like, yes, Enel has Raigo, and yes, blue cards have, what's it called, Red Rock. But, like, that's pretty much it if you think about it. And as long as you're not running into that, or say they didn't even get it, say they didn't draw it for whatever reason, or just, you know, just unlucky, no problem. You know, I just lost all track of what I'm saying, guys. I got a little bit sidetracked there because I was thinking about something else. But as long as you get to this on turn 4, you're like in the driver's seat of this game, and then you want to punish your opponent for running into your life by triggering cards like Paraspero, triggering cards like Satori, and that's what I was saying, maybe even triggering cards like what's his name? Oh gosh, I forgot his name. Kikanojo. That's what I was thinking. Or, you know, Kikanojo could be, like, very strong in this situation because you're going to get them down to 3 life very easily, very, very easily after dropping these Charlotte Lin-Lins. And then if you can get some tempo with Kikanojo, Paraspero, and Satori, all the better, right? And then Kikanojo is another good target to trash with you're the one who should disappear if it gets to that point in the game. The Sanji here is very much like a tech card. Let me bring up the other Sanji as well. I'm just going to put 2 and 2 for now. So the Sanji right here, number 1, Pudding can search up this Sanji and this Sanji, so that's fine. They're both searchable with your main character searcher here. But, you know, this one's nice because it's a blocker, but this one's not bad either in the situation we talked about earlier, where, like, let's say you went second, and they go turn 1 pass, you go turn 1 Sanji, drop the Sanji down, and then turn 2, I would counter out aggressively of whatever they do there, so that your turn 2 you can go all in, smashing in with your pudding, and then maybe using out the Bancree Bentham or something along those lines, and it just kind of changes things up potentially. You know what I mean? And this will let you eat up that top card if you didn't get your Katakuri. Sorry guys, that was super clumsy. Hope y'all understood what I'm saying, and if you didn't, just say it in the comment section below. I'll try to revise, or say it a little more eloquently real quickly here. If you have this card down on the field, let me just say it like that, whether it's turn 1, 2, whenever, and if you have one card still face up in your life where you can't use your leader effect, you can eat that card up with this character's effect and then swing with your leader to ramp on if you need to. Excuse me guys, sorry about that. Voice is starting to dry out. Well, guys, that's about it. That's really about all I wanted to go over. I think this list is pretty much the way it needs to be to ramp straight to Lin. And if you're going to run this leader, I think that's what you should be doing. What do you guys think about 10 cost Ace? Is that really worth going in this list? Because, I mean, if y'all, rewatch the games I played, the games portion, I didn't really need Ace. Like, Ace wasn't really my thing. I really just want this one card. Excuse me. And if I can't have this card, I would probably rather have this one. And then finally, lastly, I'd rather have the Lin. So maybe I go down to 3 of the 9 costs and 3 of the other 10 costs. We'll have to see, guys. I got to mute real quick, guys, and cough. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Voice was drying out. Had to get some water. Right, guys, that's it. That's it for the deck breakdown. There's not a whole lot more to talk about. I want to know what y'all think. What do y'all think about this leader? Are y'all looking forward to playing this leader? What did you guys think about going first and going turn 4 Lin? How disgusting is that, guys? How sick is that? So strong. Number one, that. Yeah, and number 2, for the people who don't like it, what are you going to be playing? What is the deck that counters this one? Because I don't really know what counters this off the top of my mind. Honestly, I think the deck just counters itself. Either you're seeing the cards you need, I don't know if you guys noticed, but every game I showed, I saw all the cards I needed. Hey, if you see that, you just win the game, right? Where it's like, okay, I had my turn 3 Katakuris every time, so I had my turn 4 Linlins. And if I can go 7k into 12k, that's already hard enough to deal with, but this one's popping a life and gaining a life, and I'm still swinging with my leader. So that turn that I drop my Linlin is swing 5, swing 7, you lose a life. Seems really good. Seems really good, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up with a quick art critique. So we have got the 9-cost alt art Yamato, all the way back from OP04. This card is extremely good. You're going to see this in most yellow decks. I think some of the decks we looked at were running this in the purple yellow pudding list, right? I believe so. But anyway, let's talk about the composition here. Let's talk about this art. I really wanted to feature this one because of the background. It happens too often in the TCG universe where the background is somewhat neglected. And I understand this is a very small canvas we're dealing with here, right? This is a very small canvas. But it's so nice when you can actually see something going on in the background. It looks like we have some kind of moon shape in the background here, like in the back right. Let me go ahead and get the circle tool out. Right here, it looks like we have some type of moon shape. I got to get this as more of a better circle. There we go. We'll bring it in. We'll make it green because it's just the easiest one to see. Actually, maybe not for this one. Would purple be better? It's hard to say, guys. I'm sorry. I'll just make it, definitely not yellow. Blue is very visible. Okay, so blue is very contrasty with the yellows back here. Okay, so you have this, like, sphere. It looks like the moon or something in the background. And then also, you have, I just want to show this shape here, really nice with the composition, like from elbow to elbow. There's something going on with that. It looks really good. You have this stuff right here going on. Boom and boom. You kind of have this Z shape for her figure. And then going straight down the back here, this club weapon that she has looks really awesome. Let's just make it green for now. This club is kind of grounding the piece and also splitting it. You've got the moon on this side. You've got her on the other side, like, the Yamato on the other side. Also, another thing I want to mention too is her hair. I really love like that ribbon hair they do with a lot of the Wano characters. I don't know if they do this with every character. Maybe they do and I just haven't noticed it. But I feel like this happened also with Kikanojo. When we looked at Kikanojo, they had like this ribbon-style hair, which I really, really like. Especially this one, how it becomes teal at the bottom. That just looks awesome. That just looks really, really incredible. Now, this person has the same, like, knot or whatever that's called. Someone, who was it? Was it Beams? Shout out to Beams, someone in the Discord. They were saying that this is from, like, the Kabuki theater stuff with these huge knots that they wear on the back. Really cool stuff. This is like, you know, like her dad, right? Kazuki Oden. Maybe that was a spoiler. I'm sorry, guys. But I believe her father was Kazuki Oden. I could be wrong about that. Someone help me out in the comment section below. But whatever the case is, she's wearing the exact same thing as her father. Like I said, I believe it's her father, Kazuki Oden, with these huge knots in the back of her dress, not dress, but her, you know, what she's wearing, her garments here. So good stuff. Really good stuff here. Like the horns, okay, some kind of otherworldly creature stuff going on here with the horns. I don't know what the backstory is on that. By all means, you guys can enlighten me in the comment section below. What is the idea with these horns here? They look really cool. I can tell you that much. Is she some type of magical creature, kind of like how Kaido is, where she can transform, or no? In fact, the more I'm thinking about it, I feel like I've seen I'm gonna bring it up on the side here. What is that? It's like a 5-cost character from Yellow. I gotta bring it up now, guys. I'm sorry. And I'll bring it over to the screen once I bring it up on the page over here. Yeah, it says Yamato. Is this the same person, guys? Again, spoiler warning. I don't know what's going on here. I don't actually watch the anime. Don't read the manga. Is this the same person? Is she can like shapeshift? It has to be. It has to be, because look, has the teal for the hair. It got this really cool, like that's like the Gear 5 or Awakened, excuse me, that's like the Awakened look for the stuff going on back here with the clouds around the neck, and it's got that little Kabuki theater fancy knot going on back there, like what the sumo wrestlers wear and stuff. Got the pink, was it the Sakura tree back here? Really beautiful. This is a really cool piece. And man, what a stat line. I'm such a big fan of the 5-cost 7k stat line. And then randomly, I'm also a big fan of the 7-cost 9k stat line. Like of all the vanilla characters, I'm not even saying those are the best ones. Those are just my favorite stat lines. That 5 and 7 and the 7 and 9. Just beautiful. Okay, we're going to get that back over here. I think I figured that out by myself, guys. I think, you know, the card called Yamato is also the Yamato card. I think I figured it out all by myself like a big boy there. But yeah, you guys tell me what's going on in the comment section below, how she can shapeshift like that. Maybe, is it a devil fruit power or what? Okay, I'm done rambling. That was just a quick composition there. It is still somewhat of the triangle. I know you guys get sick of seeing this shape, but this is still somewhat of a triangle here. And then it's backed by a very, very strong line from the I call it like a Tetsubo. It's some kind of club. I don't know what this actual weapon is like literally, actually technically called, but it's just a club, and it looks really cool. It's balanced very nicely, and it separates the, like I said, it kind of splits the background in half, where we have like this moon shape with the clouds, and then the actual person who's in the foreground. Moon background, person's technically in the midground, I guess, because the foreground's like the font and this like stuff going on at the bottom here. These little some type of little accents of her power, or like the wind blowing something in the foreground, like this grass or these reeds or whatever they are. Okay, good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me go ahead and throw up the playmat page here. Big shout out to all the VV Pirates playmat supporters. Thank you guys so much for buying the mats. And then also big shout out to the VV Pirates patron page, all the supporters on here, the guys that help me out. Thank you to everyone who just watches my channel, comments, likes, subscribes, shares. If you're doing any of that, you're helping me out. You're helping the channel grow, and I really appreciate it. All right, I'm done, guys. I'm done rambling for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, peace.